Insert. That was a good clap.
Who could be the boss? Look up to the cross, stranded in the land of the lost. For those of you that were alive in 1999 and listening to Limp Bizkit when they came out with End Together Now, thank you for enjoying this piece of nostalgia with me.
Did you like Limp Bizkit?
Absolutely. That was a big part of my childhood.
there was a few good songs. So, do you still like Limp Bizkit is my question.
Yeah. Actually,
Is it like how like people will love it when Vanilla Ice comes on because they thought it was funny?
I draw the line at Vanilla Ice. I was just listening to Chocolate Starfish on the way, that whole album on the way over. It's a good album.
It was, maybe, sort of. I'm not going to judge. They made way more money than I ever will in my life, so.
Well, all right, so welcome back to Insert. We have SHOT Show next week.
SHOT Show next week. We're going to be doing another show like we did on the floor at SHOT Show last year. Meet up with a bunch of our friends and be funny and hopefully have a lot of people. I'm hoping to get a lot of people.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it last year.
So,
I thought it was really cool doing kind of like the impromptu questions wherever we found space. Can we get the Cry Girls?
You mean the Hot Shots calendar girl?
Yeah.
All right.
I got a signed calendar.
I know.
2 years ago.
Yeah, no, I have to get a signed calendar again this
Wait,
year.
are you getting one to give away?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, because then one time it was taken away from me.
I need a calendar in my man cave.
I need a calendar in my office. I'll just have to explain away why boobs are on my wall.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Insert. Topic we chose again was gear, and in 24 hours we had like 455 comments.
Look, there's a reason
I don't understand it.
Questions.
I don't. Why do you guys love gear so much?
It's like 99% of airsoft.
Yeah, I know.
Like 1% is like guns and shooting at your friends.
The rest
and
is
the other, yeah.
It's like, well, you have that repro, or you have the real thing, and you're a newbie because you run that. And all right, let's just get down to the questions. I picked some good ones, I hope.
Every time I put on my cries, I'm reminded of that jingle you sing every time we're both wearing cries. Everybody's talking about my cry pants. And I do like a little dance, and I'm like, wow, I need...
You have a cry top, too.
I do.
Well, I'm jealous of that. Dear Insert, this is from Aaron Ruse. Hello, Matt, George, and Roger. I was wondering where you guys acquire the patches that you call with your call signs on them. Thank you, and good night, with a smiley face.
Actually, those were... Well, I don't know where you got your... Mine were given to me by Shades. He found a company that makes them, and you can get them made individually.
Yeah. So you can get your own, like, you basically... Just search for military name tapes or custom name tapes. We hope one day to maybe offer that service here. We're not really sure, but hold on, cameraman.
Maybe in 2015.
It is 2015.
Maybe this year.
maybe down the line.
2016.
But regardless, until then, just Google it.
We've talked
name
about
tape,
it.
and you can find a bunch of companies that'll do it. You can get Velcro backed or non-Velcro backed and sew your own Velcro on or whatever you want to do. So, yeah.
All right.
Good question though. I don't have any name tapes on me though.
G.R. Glessner asks, what do you guys think of the Pharaoh Concepts FCPC, and have you ever ran one? A real gear question here.
I think I sent you that link a long time ago.
You did.
So it was basically, if I remember correctly, they have like a Velcro pocket on the inside, so you kind of like can detach.
And it's got the same, similar to this LBX, it's got the clips on the side.
Personally, I prefer the clip system because it's faster to remove. I think the FPC is more like you have like a bunch of different setups of what you want, but you can't really. It doesn't seem like you can swap them out very easily, I imagine.
The thing I like about the FCPC specifically is it's really, really minimalistic, much akin to this guy right here, and it's very lightweight. Funny enough, I was just talking to Robo about it because he runs the FCPC.
Yeah, I was about to say Robo runs one.
But he also runs one in conjunction with the what's that front panel that you've been running?
The D3CR.
He's got a D3CR, and then he's also got a Pharaoh Concepts ABP Advanced
that pack. That pack's pretty cool. I'm looking at something kind of similar. That concept's been around like Mayflower Cry. Everybody's kind of done a pack like that.
But altogether, I think it makes a really nice package. For the money, there are are
equivalents.
You can find a vest that works for you in almost every price bracket, whether it's a replica or the real thing. And all vests kind of have nice features to them.
Mm-hmm.
Finding one that works best for you is really the best option. Our recommendation only goes so far.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, you, my friend.
Insane Gorilla asks, dear insert, I understand that Airsoft is 90% a fashion show.
We just talked. Okay, yeah, uh-huh.
I, on the other hand, believe in only getting gear that is necessary. I believe in function over looks. All my gear is low cost and effective. Do you think people overdo it when it comes to buy extremely expensive, quote, real steel gear for Airsoft? Do you agree that Airsoft is a fashion show?
Yes. Sometimes.
So do you think, I would think, like, for example, you mentioned Cry Precision. So
yes.
Why did you buy Cry Precision pants? Why did I buy Cry Precision pants?
I actually didn't buy them due to their name. And that's going to be hard to believe, me saying that, because, they're so well known. The reason I purchased those pants is because they do so many nice things all in one package. The integrated knee pad, the Velcroing backside so that it doesn't shift, the adjustable knee placement, the adjustable waist, the access to the pockets, like all of those things in conjunction together. And also it came in
made you want to buy it. So it doesn't necessarily, and you wanted to buy the pants because they were good quality pants, not necessarily just because of the name.
Well,
and I think, but then again, on the flip side, I think that there's some people out there who buy things just for the name.
Absolutely. But at the same time, like, okay, there are, two very, very polarized opposites in Airsoft. You have the guys that are, mil-sim, and then you guys have the guys that are speed-soft. And the guys that are speed-soft, it's not about,
the gear, it's about what's functional.
Right. Whether, it's a Mayflower this or an LBT that or whatever, they're going for practicality because it's, speed or faster or whatever. And it's interesting coming from a speed-soft background and then going into Milsim and doing Milsim with you, I find myself selecting my gear or like optioning out what I'm carrying based on its effectiveness and lightweightness and not so much on its replication of like authentic loadouts.
There you go. That was the answer. Is like, so I think that there's some people, because there's some people who are in Airsoft who are really into an impressionism, to looking a certain way, looking like a Navy SEAL, looking like MARSOC, whatever you want to classify it. I disagree with that. I'm just like, the gear I run is the gear I use when I do real shooting as well. So it's kind of like
it's very practical.
It's practical both ways. It's.
At the same time,
I like the D3 because I can keep my radio up front. I can keep a bottle of BBs up front. I can keep, a lot of stuff.
Other bottles up front.
Beer bottles up front? No.
I said other. I said other.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's your turn.
Also, impressionists are really cool.
We're done. Yeah. No, I mean, impressionist gear is a whole other.
Yeah.
No, impressionist gear is a whole other. You want to talk about expensive? When you start going like Russian gear or anything like that, you're just like, oh, it's so expensive. You might as well be buying Cry.
Dre Upshur Obear asks, Dear Insert, what do you think about the expandable drag handles used by 511? Useful or just another thing to worry about? Are they talking about that thing?
You pull it and it's like that strap, so you can. I think the guy when he talked to us about it last year was like, you pull on it, that way you're not carrying the guy here, you carry it this way.
Right, you're dragging him like a backpack, like a walking backpack with wheels.
See, when I saw that, all I wanted to do was pull it out all the way and then like attach it to a car, like a trailer hitch, and then you drive.
Oh my god, the Wild West has returned in George's mind.
That's the first thing I thought of.
I mean, it's a cool concept. I get that, that way you don't have all that person's weight on you or whatever. But the way I'm looking at it, right, is just purely based in physics. The less mass that's touching the ground, the less friction you're going to have resisting movement, right?
I would think.
So if you're dragging a dude's mass on the ground, regardless of the strap's position, if you could lift them off the ground, they're going to be much quicker to move.
But on the flip side, though, if you think about it, if you don't have to exert as much strength holding
lifting,
up the person, then think about it this way: is it easier to pick up a desk and move it, or is it easier to push a desk?
Okay, so with that token, is the next invention from us here at Insert the Evike.com tactical body removal dolly. You wheel it out, fold it open, lay the guy on, and it's got wheels, so you just roll him back to cover. Like, is that where we're going with this?
Are you talking about like you put like some luggage wheels on the back of the plate
saying.
carrier?
Yeah, and it's just like, right when you pull their emergency, it just goes and like folds out some wheels, and you just rock them back and get the weight nice and roll them away.
I love this idea. We should make this
Coming
happen.
soon to a plate carrier near you.
That's really... Did you just think of that on the fly?
I did.
That's pretty good. Rambro 88. Hello, insert. Why is there a bad stigma with Condor? ? Outside of them not being in the U.S., I have not had any problems with their products. I play Airsoft once or twice a month and would like to get a plate carrier on a budget. Condor seems to fit the bill, but I would like to know why people are down on their products. It comes down to what we were talking about with the fashion show. I think that people maybe judge gear versus, like, if a pouch works or a plate carrier works, who cares what the brand is? I mean, you could have a repro, like, something or other that doesn't break ever because it's well made, and people will judge it.
So who cares that it has the name?
Exactly.
I think some of the stigma may be a throwback to, early on when Condor was starting, when they didn't originally make only tactical gear. Originally, Condor made all sorts of outdoor sports equipment.
They did.
I have a volleyball net from 1986 that's still in my garage in the cardboard. So maybe that's where some of the stigma came from. Like, oh, well, they didn't just make tactical gear.
I think the stigma's come out more recently, but
really?
I don't know. I mean, they have a good product for the price point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, their mag pouches are solid. Their chest rigs are really underrated. Mm-hmm. The MCR4, the MCR3 are all really good chest rigs. I recommend if somebody wants to buy something on the cheap, buy one of those chest rigs.
Not to mention their slings and everything else they
carry.
Yeah,
and some of their stuff is made in the U.S. because they got government contracts for it. Like their new PC and their slings. So.
And the fact that aren't more and more military and law enforcement using. I mean, we see.
I don't really know the details, but I mean, it's just like anything. Something gets picked up somewhere.
I could buy a $500 plate carrier or a $100 one that works just as well.
Yeah, but then it's not LBT or it's not
right.
Cry or it's not like it's. Do you get a good product with those name brands? Of course you do, but it's what you can afford.
But also real world people are becoming kind of airsofty gear whorish.
Okay, what you have to understand is those companies. The reason it's so expensive is because the people who make the bulk of the orders aren't paying for it. The government is. Right. The government contracts. So they just, I'm picking up a plate carrier for $700. What is,
True.
I'm not paying for it. Who cares? You think that if everybody had to pay their own plate carrier out of their own pocket, do you think you'd see people buying $900 plate carriers?
No.
No, exactly.
But there's also a large majority of people buying these plate carriers that are no longer...
I agree.
Being subsidized by the Robert Gowing, let's go Gowing, asks, "Hi from the UK, love the show. I'm 5 foot tall. I'm looking for a plate carrier that's really small and compact. What do you recommend? I have an LBT 6094 and would like to change." The 6094, Jet mentioned before that it was a little too large for his torso.
Because it's a long plate carrier. Like, this carrier stops where the plate is. Versus
so this
94
is already a better advantage.
Yes, but the 94 goes way down,
Okay.
So, especially if you have like a medium, I think the medium plate, this wouldn't be a bad
That's
option.
the medium.
Actually.
That fit me perfectly, and I've got a slender torso. Robert, I recommend the Armistice.
If not that, honestly, anything that's similar to a JPC would probably work pretty well too, because it's small framed plate carrier. For a guy like me, not working out.
Or a chest rig and a soft armor.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good...
It's got protection, and you've got everything you need. And Condor makes some legit front...
Neba Airsoft asks, Gear, best mesh mask that you like to use?
The first one I started with, that I bought at Evike 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Yep.
What about the one you use now?
No, mesh.
Mesh mask.
Yeah, I meant like it had like mesh. It was
the
mesh
whole thing is
goggles.
Mesh? Oh wow,
Like
I haven't
like
used those in a while.
The goggles were mesh, and then it had like a rubber plastic like neck protector that you could unsnap. And when the BBs, if they got over like 300 feet per second, the paint would chip off.
Yeah, no, I stopped using a mesh mask indoors when I took like a BB like right here and all the dust came into my eyes. Like, that kind of hurt. So, no, I decided against that. Went back to goggles. But the lower face mesh, the half mask, great.
That's the one we
all use that.
What's it called?
I just the Matrix. It's
Oh,
whatever one we sell. Somebody's trying to mouth behind the camera. I can't tell what he's saying.
It's the Iron Faces.
But yeah, but we also like we cut ours to fit our goggles. So.
Mine still needs to. I need to redo it.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm sorry.
Because I changed goggles.
Yeah.
So now I've got like little gaps in my cheeks.
You know who has the funniest one though is Rod from Polar Star.
Why is that?
Because you remember that one? It's like leather.
Oh yeah. The studded.
That is like the coolest looking lower face mask I've ever seen.
Good protection though.
Yes.
How many more do you want to do?
We have 4 minutes left in the show.
Sweet. What kind of boots? What?
What kind of boots?
Jeff Carminati asks, what kind of boots? More like hiking boots or actual combat boots? I'm not understanding your question.
He's asking what combat boots or what boots would you prefer? And what was funny is actually I remember when we were going through all the topics on this comment had like a bunch of sub-comments underneath of people replying.
Oh, okay.
And I was amazed. I mean, I had to screen the questions for this episode, but I was amazed of how many people were saying combat boots.
Interesting.
What do you think?
Well, I use the 511s we sell, the ATAX Coyote 8-inch
Which have
desert
worked
boots.
for you for almost 4 years now.
Yes, almost 4 years. They haven't torn, ripped, gotten too abrased. The only thing I've changed is that the inner sole wore out, and I put an actual like hiking sole in it, and not one of those gel pieces of junk. One that had actual arch support. That's the only change I've ever made. And in fact, from the first time I tied them, I've never retied them.
Interesting.
Because there's side zip. So I tied them once, and I've always just side zipped them on.
That is one advantage of combat boots is the side zip. And I switched to Salomon GTX boots, which are amazing. But the problem is I don't have that side zip anymore.
But now the Solomons are not a combat boot.
No.
They're a hiking boot.
They are a hiking boot, yes. But they're starting to become very, very popular in the just the world because of their comfort and durability and their I don't know, the comfort of them is amazing.
I do feel like with hiking boots, a lot more attention is paid to comfortability than it is with combat boots. Combat boots are, I think, more centered on protection, ensuring that your ankle doesn't get rolled and all that support.
Yeah, the ankle support I have on my Solomons is great. It's just they don't have a side zip.
Okay.
I mean, that's the only thing I don't like about it.
Are they a 6 or an 8?
They're
or are they even
They had no, they're not half tops. They're full tops.
Okay.
So I think they're like a 6, but I don't think they're 8s. They're too tall, but they're nice boots. I recommend them as well. But the 511s, I still have my pair of foliage green ones and my coyote brown ones that I started with, and I still use them. I use them for more like events like New Horizon when I want to beat up a boot because they're great for that.
Gotcha. So our answer is both.
Both.
Both are good.
Last question, I think.
Okay.
It's a good one. Let's see here. Nico the Husky, dear answer, what are your thoughts on growing popularity of Russian kits and teams? P.S. Love the show.
Super cool.
Some Russian kits that's expensive gear because usually, if I remember correctly, you have to get a lot of it direct.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get and find and understand, but it's well made.
Yeah, well, okay, so from an Op4 point of view, if I'm shooting against a team of Russians, that makes target identification much, much easier. Not necessarily because, I mean, their woodland is similar enough to our woodland that from, far enough away, it's going to look, green. But because the guys who are trying to be authentic with their Russian kits are usually running Russian guns.
Yeah.
And it's far easier to go, not an AR, not an M5, not an M4, gun, I'm getting it, you know what I'm saying? So in that sense, it's easier to pick.
I think it's a lot more challenging to piece together a good Russian kit than it is to piece together a good just standard U.S. kit, if you think about it. And I think finding a helmet, like getting, like some people even go to the, getting the helmets that they, helmets from over there and stuff like that. That's pretty impressive stuff.
Sure.
But
I think you probably run into the same issues that we have with the guys that are impressionists for U.S. Camos and things. I've talked to plenty of ex-military and current military guys that are like, dude, that looks cool, but we never wore all that stuff. Like, when you are just base grunt in theater, you don't get all the cool pouches and every add-on and every piece of...
You get whatever you're issued,
right.
And it usually sucks.
And no one wants to do the, authentic replica of that because it doesn't look as cool. So
yeah, everybody's dressed like a SO,
we're all SOF guys.
Yeah, like an SOF guy now. That's very true. I didn't even think about that. But if you look at basic grunt kit.
Yeah. So if everybody that's doing Russian stuff is all doing Spetsnaz and like elite, tier 1 Russian commandos, then we're going to have a lot of Russian commandos on the field. I guess that's it. We'll see you guys next time.
Right, we'll see you guys.
We're not doing any theme for SHOT.
No.
Okay.
If you want to post something about SHOT Show, you have until Friday to do it. I was going to say Saturday, but you have till Friday to get your questions in specifically about SHOT Show. And specifically towards anybody who's at SHOT Show. Maybe we could find him if we run into the question or something, or we could all just talk bad things about that person. Remember that quite like.
Well, the guys from Airsoftology are going to be there. Guys from Airsoft Obsessed are going to be there.
I think just Tom. I'm not sure. Maybe Dave. If you're going, hit me up.
Nelson Junkie usually goes.
But I haven't heard from him.
I think he's still going.
Okay. There'll be a bunch of people that we know. SHOT Show's like the gathering of airsofters.
If he wants to find somebody, and
we can find them, maybe.
Maybe we can get Chris Cost on to model some of his cool moves. See you guys later.
That was good.